how you will prepare your presentation for your assignment. Your presentation is about a formal report, long formal report. Today we are going to discuss about the different forms of report. You will choose long formal report, and long formal report will have three different parts. Number one part is prefatory parts. You do not need to make any presentations. You do not need to prepare any slides on prefatory parts. Number two chapter is report proper. In the report proper, you will prepare 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is about introduction, where you will explain the objectives of the report. Chapter 2 is about literature review. Here you will find the research gap and research question. And chapter 3, you will explain the methodology, how we will answer the research question, number 1. Number 2 is how we are going to answer or explain the research objective. And number 4 is about the findings. Sometimes it is called results and discussion. In the results and discussion section, you will explain, you will answer the research question by using the methodology you have applied in your methodology section. And the research findings and discussion chapter will be the longest part of the report. And finally, you will conclude. Conclude means you will summarize the findings, plus you will recommend something for the company. So these 5 slides and 5 chapters you will explain. One will explain objective, another will explain literature, another will explain methodology, another will explain the findings, and finally one member will conclude the report. If there are 6 members, say for example, then you will prepare one more slide for findings and discussion. All right. So one slide you will explain for 5 minutes. So we will give you the time slot later. Maybe after
it's a group presentation.
Group presentation. This group presentation. About the chapter, that is personal issue. You will prepare that slide individually. That means if you choose chapter 7, you will prepare some slides.
Presentation দিবে
yes.
স্যার একটাই দেই স্যার, দুইটা বেশি হয়ে যায় স্যার। প্রিপারেশন কখন নিব স্যার? স্লাইডও তো বানাই
স্যার সময় নাই স্যার।
অনেক ঝামেলা।
স্যার একটা থাকলে বেশি
জি
ভালো
স্যার
হয়।
একটাই
স্যার এখন লাস্ট টাইম তো স্যার অনেক
ক্লাসের উপর নেন
স্যার আমরা গ্রুপ
চারটার উপর নেন।
জি স্যার জাস্ট ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল চ্যাপ্টারগুলোর
উপর নেন স্যার, চ্যাপ্টারের উপর নিলে বেটার হয় স্যার।
স্যার গ্রুপ প্রেজেন্টেশন বেটার স্যার।
But we need to know what you have done in your report.
ওইটাই দিই অথবা ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল স্যার যে কোনো একটা স্যার।
Objective of the course will not reflect there.
Presentation নিলে অনেক টাইম লাগবে।
No, you don't need sufficient time. Just I will spend a lot of time, but you will spend a few minutes. So maybe I will invite you in groups. Only one group will make presentations, and that group can leave. So you will not. You don't need to spend a lot of time there. So we can discuss it later. First, how to write a report. Can I start? So first, yes, we are going to discuss how to write a report. So come here to discuss about the report types. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss choosing the right type of report. And there are 2 types of report. One is short report, another is long report. The long report you are going to write. Short report means memo report, like a memorandum. If you can remember the different forms of letters and memos. Memo report means writing. You are explaining the objectives of your report in just a memorandum form. Letter report means that you are writing a letter and you are explaining the objectives you have achieved. So it is like a letter, and the letter, you know, different forms of formats of reports. Say for example, block style, modified block style. So you can choose any one to explain the short report. Short report. So we are going to discuss the short report, and then the another type is long report. Long report means preparing a long report with 3 different parts, as I have already discussed. Number 1 is it will have prefatory parts. Prefatory parts will include cover page, cover page, then title page, title fly, acknowledgement, authorization, and then letter of transmittal, a table of contents, list of figures, list of illustrations, any type of illustrations, list of abbreviations, and finally executive summary. These are the prefatory parts. And the second part is report proper. Report proper will include 5 chapters. Number 1 is introduction, where you will explain the objectives of the report and some other points. Say for example, origin of the report, limitations of the report, sometimes literature review. If there is no sufficient amount of literature review, you can include that part in the introduction section. Methodology, if there is no difficult methodology that you need to explain more, then you can include methodology there in the introduction section. Finally, structure of the report, how you have designed your report, you will also include there in the introduction. I'm showing it, just I'm giving you the overview of the long formal report. So this is prefatory parts, and then the report proper will include, it is also known as the body of the report, body. So sorry, I'm talking about the body. Introduction is also a part of the body. So introduction, after writing the introduction, then you will also write the literature review if sufficient amount of literature is available. Otherwise, you will merge literature with the introduction section. I'm showing you an example. I will show you a demo. And then after literature, you will write the methodology, how you are going to explain your objective. Maybe you are going to explain by using average. So you will write what type of average you are going to use in your report. And then finally, after analysis, you will get the result. You will now explain the results in the next chapter. That means chapter 4. The results chapter will be bigger because you will show your justifications there. And if there is any inconsistency, you will explain the inconsistency. And then finally, you will write the conclusion. In your conclusion, you will write the summary of the results. Summary of the results, and also you will include the recommendations, if any. And recommendations doesn't mean only instruction. Recommendation means you will give the probable solutions also. So this is about the second part. And the third part of a long report or long formal report is, appended part. Appended part, references or bibliography is number 1 component of appended part. And also there are some appendix. There is some information that is very important for the readers, but you fail to include there in the body of the report. In the appended part, as appendix, you can give those information. Say for example, questionnaire. You cannot include there in the main body of the report. You can give some added information that was not possible to give there in the report. You can include those. So appended part means bibliography or references and the appendix. These are the 3 components of the long formal report you are going to write. So let's look at the slides. Now we are going to show the slides, choosing the right type of report. Influence of length and formality on report structure. So as I said, length, whether you are going to write short or you are going to write long report. And when the report, you are writing a long report, more formalities are coming. In short report, short length report, the formality is less than long formal report. I'm showing it. I'm going to show you how short and long reports differ in writing style. Yes, I also show. So for example, in short report, you do not need to write the appended, prefatory parts. Number one part out of three, prefatory, body, and appended parts. You do not need to write the prefatory parts in short report. So in long reports, you have to write all the components of the prefatory parts. Prefatory parts, we also show it, the issue will be more clear. And then choosing an appropriate form for short reports. Short reports, as I said, short report may be letter format, maybe memorandum format. You will choose which one is better. Even email format. Email is also one kind of short report. You can choose the email as a short, as the medium of communication. So choosing an appropriate form of short reports. We will also show the different types of short reports, and then adapting the procedures for writing short reports to many other types of reports. So now it is a matter of adaptation. How we'll adapt the process of writing short reports to many other types of reports. And then adaptation is everywhere is very important. How will adapt with the reader? This adaptation means adaptation with the reader. So whether short report is good or long report is good, you need to adapt it. And then writing longer reports that meets readers' needs and are easy to follow. Long report, why people write the long report? Because in the long report, there is a coherence. Coherence means that one chapter is followed by another chapter. And one chapter ends, the another chapter begins, and there is a relationship. And people, when the people usually, say for example, when I read any report, what I read first, can you guess which part of the report you need to read at first? Okay. Sorry, executive summary. Yes, top executives are very busy. That's why executive summary is the summary of the total report. But usually when anyone wants to know what is the report about, then they read the objectives of the report. That means in introduction section, there is a objective subheads. So usually when I read any report, I first read the objectives of the report. Say for an example, I check what is the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. So it is your objective. So I check it first, and then I will move directly to the conclusion, because the objectives that is achieved through the total report is summarized there in the conclusion. So when you will read the objectives and you will go to the conclusion is the answer to the objectives. So if you read these 2 points, you can identify what is the problem and what is the solution. So there is a coherence. When you write the objectives must match the conclusion of your report. Otherwise, the report will be not a good report, because there is no coherence of your report. I will also show you more issues how a report becomes coherent. And then long problems and formal contents require a complex makeup. So when you are preparing a long report, your makeup is being complex. This is true. This is true because you have to write a lot of letters, lot of information you have to give in addition to short reports. Short problems and informal context need a simpler, short problems and informal context usually are summarized in short reports. This makeup is for long reports, and this makeup is for short reports. Informal and short problems are addressed in short reports, and long problems and formal. So formal and informal. Formal contexts are there in the long report. So you are going to address the formal issues in your report that you are going to prepare. So here, maybe it will be more clear to you how it affects. What is the difference between long report and short report? Here it is the low formality, and it is the high formality, and it is the low formality. So when it is low formality, yes, low formality, the lowest level formality at the lowest level is just writing an email or writing a memorandum report. Email or memo report is the shortest report, and longest report will include title fly, title page, transmittal message, table of contents, executive summary, report proper, and also appended parts. Appended parts are important for all reports. That's why these have not been included. Appended part is also one of the important components of short and long reports. So, and the second, in that case, what you are going to omit? You are going to omit the title fly. What is title fly? Title fly means writing only the title in just a page. Say for an example, what is the title of your report? The title of your report is the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. So you will just write this sentence in a page.
স্যার
This is
শুনতে
known as-
পাচ্ছি না স্যার, গ্লিচ করতেছে।
What about the other students?
Sir, internet problem হচ্ছে।
I'm using my cell phone data because I know there are problems in Wi-Fi. That's why I have chosen the mobile data. Is it working now?
গাইস সবাই কি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
Can you hear me? Are everybody is facing the same problem?
শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
এখন কি অবস্থা, শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
We can't hear you.
Sir.
Yes, I'm not
Yes,
talking
sir,
at this moment.
Yes, sir. এখন শোনা যায়।
Yes sir.
So somebody is calling. That was the problem. Maybe that's why the connection was interrupted. Calling in my mobile phone.
Yes, sir. Mobile data.
So all right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes sir.
So what is the difference between long report and short report? I'm showing you that differences. This is the longest report and this is the shortest report. Email or memorandum report is the shortest report. Here you will write just an email or just a memo to answer your research question. Your research question was, what is the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance? So you are writing it here in an email that there is a huge positive impact on the business performance of strategic business communication. You will write a memo for the internal communications, email for internal and external. And then the longest report. The longest report will include title fly, title page, letter of transmittal or transmittal message, table of contents, executive summary, and the report proper. Report proper you are writing in every type of report. But the formality, it is the highest level formality. Second level formality is you are not writing the title fly. Title fly means writing only the title of the report. Say for example, the title of your report you are going to produce is the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. So you are going to write the title fly in second level, although it is long report, but it is less formal than the first one. Second level formal report, you are going to write title page. So you are not going to write the title fly. Title fly means only the title of the report. And title page will identify the title of the report and the writer's information, and also the reader information will be there in title page. And letter of transmittal, it is ultimately the authorization from me. I have authorized you to prepare this report, isn't it? So
Sure.
you are going, yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe after the lecture, please be attentive. I will give you the chance to discuss many issues. If you have any issues, then we can discuss later. For 30 minutes, I'll continue, and then you will discuss. All right.
Yes, sir.
So okay, second level, you are not writing the title fly, and the other components are all right. You have to write the report proper. And the third level formal report, that means you are now writing the title page, table of contents, and then transmittal and executive summary. You are summarizing. In executive summary, you will also write the contents of letter of transmittal in short. So letter of transmittal separately you are not writing here. So third level formal report, fourth level formal report, you will include the title page, table of contents are not important. You are here also combining the letter of transmittal and executive summary together. The executive summary, we will also show how to write the executive summary in details. Executive summary means summary of the total report for the executives, busy executives. And fifth level formal report is just title page and the report proper. And for your reference, report proper means introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, and conclusion. These are the 5 components of the report proper. And the sixth level. So the report is gonna informal, isn't it? This is also informal report. Just writing a letter report. Letter report, you are using a letter form, and you know how to write a letter. Letter maybe, you know.
আরেকটু জুম করা কি পসিবল?
No.
মানে স্যার বক্সের লেখাগুলো না আমি ক্লিয়ার না, এইজন্য।
এইগুলি ক্লিয়ার না, তাই তো? এইগুলি ছোটগুলি।
ইয়েস স্যার।
ওকে,
Yes, sir.
আপনার মনে হয় যে এগুলি আমরা আরো শো করব। এই মুহূর্তে আপনি এটাকে বলা হয় টাইটেল ফ্লাই। এটা প্রথমটা, এটা কি? টাইটেল ফ্লাই। এটা হলো টাইটেল পেজ। এটা হচ্ছে ট্রান্সমিটাল মেসেজ অথবা লেটার অফ ট্রান্সমিটাল, সেম থিং। And then this is table of contents and executive summary. All right,
Sir.
ওকে স্যার।
So আপনি আস্তে আস্তে কি এই যে এটাকে বলা হয় কি বলেন তো? This is known as the prefatory parts of a report. Prefatory parts. So in informal report, your prefatory parts is gonna reducing, isn't it?
Sir.
And in sixth level, it is informal report, and you are just writing a letter. This is also informal report. You are just writing the title page and the report proper. However, here there is a report proper. Yes, sir. এবার বলেন, if there is a problem.
ইনফর্মাল রিপোর্টটা কি 6th লেভেল থেকে স্টার্ট হবে?
Informal report, yes. This is informal report because you are not writing the report proper. Report proper means, what do you mean by report proper? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody? What is report
So the
proper?
main part of the report.
Right. And what are the components of this part?
Sir, introduction, literature review,
Okay,
methodology.
one only. Oh, okay, Mariam, can you tell Mariam only?
Okay, sir. Introduction, তারপর হচ্ছে
Literature,
লিটারেচার রিভিউ, তারপর অবজেক্টিভ,
methodology,
মেথোডোলজি, তারপর রেজাল্ট এন্ড ডিসকাশন,
result and discussion. Finally,
ফাইনালি রিকমেন্ডেশন
conclusion.
এন্ড কনক্লুশন. Yes.
Good. So, and the objective is a part of introduction. So you must write the objective in the introduction section. All right. So this is also most this is also formal report, list formal report, only title page, and the formality is increasing with the increasing prefatory components. In the first level, the highest formal report is that this will include title fly, title place, letter of transmitter, table of contents, executive summary. This is not all. There are some other pages that you have to include. Say for an example, I have already told that acknowledgement. If you have any support, if you receive any support from anybody else, you have to acknowledge that in the report. So there will be an acknowledgement page. Then if there is any figures in the report, proper figures, you have to give a list of figures here after table of contents, list of figures. Then if there is any tables you have used in the report, tables means there are different explanatory tables. Then you will also include here in between executive summary and table of contents the list of tables. So there are some more pages I'm going to show you. Yes, please.
Sir, acknowledgement letter will come after table of contents.
Acknowledgement before table of contents, before. Even before letter of transmittal.
Okay, sir.
So you are acknowledging something, but there are some other options to write the acknowledgement. Sometimes acknowledgement is given after the report proper as appended part. If the acknowledgement is huge, then you have to write a separate section at the appended part as an appended part. So when you will read some more reports and also read the book, the issues will be clear. But for the moment, for a student, as a student, what you need to know, I'm gonna explaining. So formal report and long, short report and long report. What type of reports we have explained? Short report and long report. Short report and long report. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the problem, or this is national problem maybe. Now come to the report contents. What are the contents of the report? Components of the report. Title fly. What is title fly? Title fly means a page that will include only the title of the report. No other information will be there. Say for an example, the title fly will include only the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. So writing this sentence is known as title fly. Then title page. Here, as you are the student and you are gonna submit the report to your supervisor, you will include here the title of the report, and then you will also include the supervisor's information and the writer's information. Also you will include the submission date or submission period. Especially the report is prepared during few months. Say for example, you are assigned to prepare this report for a semester. That's why you should write the month of the submission month, or you can include the specific date. But usually our report includes month and year: December 2023, November 2023. In title page, you need to include this information. And then transmittal message. Transmittal message means that you are going to submit the report. And when you are going to submit the report, you have got authorization from your supervisor. So you'll write about the authorization, and then you are going to submit the report. You will write that after 3 months we have prepared the report. Now the report is ready and we are going to submit the report. You are requested to accept the report. This type of information you will include there in the transmittal page. And then table of contents, you know that the titles and the page number, this will include, and this is very common and known to you. And then after table of contents, you will write the executive summary. Executive summary means that you will summarize the total report. Summarize the total report in just 1 to 2 pages, not more than 2 pages, because while you are summarizing the report, there are a lot of busy people who has no time to read all the report about your methodology or literature review. So you will summarize all this chapter here in executive summary. This may be in direct order, maybe in indirect order. And maybe you can remember the chapter writing direct message, chapter 7. And chapter 8 was writing indirect message. Can you remember? So the same system you will apply. If the report is positive one, then you will apply the direct order. And if it is negative news, negative result, then negative results mean the impact on the organization is maybe negative. Then you will use the indirect approach. Indirect approach, that means here you will write the findings first, and then you will include other things. Here you will write the other things first, and then you will write the findings. I'm showing you here maybe a little bit later. So little need for characteristics of short reports. What are the characteristics of short report? Maybe it's already clear to you. What are the characteristics? After explaining the slides, it becomes clear, much clear. However, let's read it. Little need for introductory information. So you do not need to give the introductory information. Predominance of direct order. Direct order, just you writing the result first. Direct order. Then more personal writing style. So you are writing just like a letter or like a memo or an. I'm sorry, maybe I was disconnected.
Sir.
So
স্যার শোনা যাচ্ছিল না, এখন যাচ্ছে।
yes, I was totally disconnected. It's totally disconnected. So what are the characteristics of a short report? Little need for introductory information. Maybe you have got the information from the previous figure. Predominance of director, that means you will write the result first and then you will write the other information. Direct order. And more personal style, you're writing like a letter, you're writing like a memo, you're writing like an email. So more personal style you can follow here. And then less need for a structured coherence plan. That means first introduction, then literature review, then methodology, then findings and discussion, then conclusion. There is a linkage among these 5 components. You do not need to follow these linkages in short report. Now come to forms of different short reports. Short reports may be short report itself. That means only title and report proper. It is short report. Then letter format, you are just writing a letter, you are writing an email. These are all short reports. Other forms such as newsletter is also like short reports. You know, pamphlets, white papers. White papers means you know, sometimes we publish white papers. That means we publish everything that is known as white paper, whether it is positive or negative. Usually governments, opposition party publishes white paper of the government parties, because government party do some undue jobs. These are published by the, you know, opposition party. This is known as white paper. And common types of reports: routine operational report. So please do not forget to read the book. A lot of examples are given for your better understanding. Routine operational report. So you are the production officer, you will give routine report to your seniors. So this is routine operational report. You are the marketing manager, you need to give reports on monthly basis. This is routine operational report. Then you have to write progress report. What is your progress in this course? Say for example, usually there are many teachers of a university are out of Bangladesh, isn't it? They are pursuing higher education, either doctoral education or postdoctoral education. So this type of you know, jobs require progress report from the supervisors. Progress report means how well you are doing your job. If you are assigned to do a project, you have to submit progress report regularly. What is your progress? Problem solving report. If there is any committee formed to solve any problem, you have to write the problem solving report. Audit report, sometimes auditors prepare audit report. Meeting minutes means that sometimes office colleagues sit together to discuss something. That is known as minutes, and you have to write the minutes. Minutes means the decisions, meeting decisions, what you are discussing in every minutes. Meeting minutes means this minute and 60 seconds equals 1 minute is same. So what you are discussing in every minute, you will record it. This is known as the meeting minutes. You will record all the discussions of the report. It is known as meeting minutes. And organization of a long formal report. There are 3 parts I have said. Do you have any objection here? Long formal report.
So, any objection?
স্যার আপনার কথা শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
স্যার আবার ডিসকানেক্ট।
Sorry. So is there a problem with this organization of a long report? These are the components you must include in your report. Title to fly means only title. That means the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. It is title flight. Title page. What is title page? The readers and writers are identified here. Title of the report, then the authors of the report or the authority of the report. Supervised by, say for an example, you will write the information of the supervisor, and then prepared by, you will write the writer's information, and then you will put a date at the end of the page. This is known as title page. And then authorization, that means sometimes it requires authorization from the supervisor. You can write that your supervisor has authorized you to prepare this report. You will write this authorization information here. Transmittal, sometimes it is known as preface or forward. That means you are going to submit the report. And you will explain that here in transmittal message. Sometimes if you do not include this letter authorization message, then you will write the authorization information in your transmittal message. Table of contents, you know, and you will include list of illustrations, list of tables, list of figures, list of abbreviations, and finally executive summary. And when you will write the prefatory parts, you will not use the Arabic numerals. Say for example, page number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot use. You will use the Roman numerals. You know what is Roman numerals? Don't you know? Yes, you know. Roman numerals 1, 2.
B sign.
Okay. And
Sir, where to use Roman numerals?
up to report proper. Up to report proper, you will use Roman numerals. And then number 1 will begin from here. This is Arabic numerals. 2, you will use 2, 3. All right. Page number. I'm talking about the page number. The Roman numerals you will use in prefatory parts, and report proper number counting of pages will begin here. But when we say that please prepare a 30-page report, this will also include. If 10 pages are prefatory and 20 pages are report proper, total 30 pages. All right. Okay. So what you will include here?
আমাদের রিপোর্টটা স্যার কত পেজের হবে?
আপনাদের
রিপোর্টটা কত পেজ?
you will write around 30 pages. 10 pages from here and 25 pages from here and 5 pages here.
স্যার বেশি হলে প্রবলেম নাই স্যার?
Oh, sorry, 10, 15 and 5.
না স্যার বলতেছি বেশি হলে স্যার
বেশি হলে no problem. Minimum. I'm talking about the minimum number of pages.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir, minimum is অনেক.
30 pages is not অনেক. 30 pages is the minimum length of a formal report.
Authorization মেসেজটা আরেকবার বলবেন যে ট্রান্সমিটারে কি হবে সেটা ইনক্লুড করব।
Authorization
মেসেজটাই কি acknowledgement?
No, acknowledgement is different thing. Authorization means the authorization from the supervisor. What I'm giving you authority to prepare this report. And acknowledgement means you have got a lot of supports from your friends, from the people who have given the answer to your questions. These are the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement means that you have taken help from somebody in different aspects. Say for example, when we write the especially the PhD thesis, we write that we have got a lot of support from my wife in the acknowledgement page. All right. That means he usually as a family member, spouse help to do the report, or at least by supporting. All right, so you have to
মেসেজ আমরা স্যার আমাদের সাথে তো কোনো মেসেজ নিয়ে কমিউনিকেশন হয় না স্যার আপনার সাথে অথরাইজেশন মেসেজে তাহলে
authorization message.
কি মানে স্যার আপনার সাথে তো আমাদের মেসেজে কোনো কমিউনিকেশন হয় না আপনি ক্লাসে অ্যাসাইন করছেন আমরা সেইভাবে করে করছি তো অথরাইজেশন মেসেজের মধ্যে কি লিখি
Authorization message means you will write the message. That is authorization. Apni forget about the message. Authorization. You will write the message like this, like this. Business communication is a important course for BBA program. Business communication course has different components to finish. These sub-components includes theoretical issues, practical issues, and one of the components of the practical issue is preparing a long formal report. Our professor has assigned us to prepare this long formal report on the impact of strategic business communication on business performance. So this is just the authorization. All right. And acknowledgement means other than there are a lot of parties. You have collected information from a company, so the company managers or the supervisors help you. So you'll write their name. You have got support from your friends, so you'll write the name of your friend. You have got support from your family member. You will write. You will acknowledge that. So those who help you, we can acknowledge them. So you can combine authorization and transmittal together one page, or you can write separately, no problem. And executive summary, I'm going to show you the contents of the executive summary. And then report proper, you will write these things. All right, introduction, report findings, summary, conclusion, recommendation. So what I'm talking about, that literature is one point. 5 components. I have told you 5 components of the report proper, isn't it? One is introduction. Number 2 is literature review. So literature review is absent here, is it? Then methodology is also absent here, is it? So maybe in your report there is no sufficient amount of literature. In that case, literature means, what is literature? Let me define first what is literature. Literature means the relevant knowledge on the topic. What is the topic? Topic is the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. So the relevant knowledge of impact of strategic business communication on business performance. So maybe few previous works are there, you will cite those works. This is literature review. There are theoretical issues that is important to make clear what is strategic business communication means. You will explain it here in literature review. So if there is no sufficient amount of literature, that means এর আগে আপনার ওই টপিক নিয়ে আর কেউ কাজ করে নাই, তাহলে তো আপনার কোনো লিটারেচার রিভিউ নেই, আছে? So in that case, what you will do, you will include literature review under introduction section. Say for an example, number 1 is objectives of the report. Number 2, literature review. Here in literature review, we will just discuss the points. And then methodology is also not included here. Maybe there is no significant methodology. Maybe the report is descriptive. So in descriptive report, there is no specific methodology. In that case, you will just write that the report is a descriptive one. So in introduction section, you can also include methodology if there is no significant methodology have used in your report. Have you got it?
স্যার
স্যার
ইন্ট্রোডাকশনের
আজকে তো
ভিতরে কি
একজনে বলেন, মিস্টার আহমেদ বলেন।
স্যার এই নতুন যে যে জিনিসগুলো অ্যাড হলো স্যার আজকে তো সাবমিশন না
না, আজকে সাবমিশন না, সাবমিশন আরো পরে করবেন।
স্যার
স্যার সেটা
ইন্ট্রোডাকশনে কি
কবে
স্যার
একটু বলতে
মিস্টার
পারবেন
আসিফ,
please?
আসিফ বলেন, আসিফ।
স্যার ইন্ট্রোডাকশনে কি স্যার অবজেক্টিভ আছে?
Objectives must be written in introduction section.
স্যার এটা কি লিটারেচার রিভিউর আগে থেকে বলছেন?
লিটারেচার রিভিউর আগে। বিকজ আমি একটু আগে আপনাদের কি বললাম যে আমি রিপোর্টের কি পড়ি, প্রথমে পড়ি হচ্ছে অবজেক্টিভ অফ দি রিপোর্ট। এই অবজেক্টিভ অফ দি রিপোর্ট ইজ দেয়ার ইন দি ইন্ট্রোডাকশন সেকশন। তারপরে আমি পড়ি কি সরাসরি কনক্লুশন। কারণ কি এখানে যে অবজেক্টিভ বলা থাকে যে দি অবজেক্টিভ অফ দি রিপোর্ট ইজ টু নো দ্য ইম্প্যাক্ট অফ স্ট্র্যাটেজিক বিজনেস কমিউনিকেশন অন দি বিজনেস পারফরমেন্স। এখানে কনক্লুশনে আপনাকে লিখতে হবে হোয়াট ইজ দি ইম্প্যাক্ট। কনক্লুশনে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ইম্প্যাক্ট লিখলে তাহলে কি আমার অবজেক্টিভ যা সেটা এখানে সামারাইজ করতে হবে কিনা, করতে হবে। আর ইউ গেটিং মাই পয়েন্ট? হ্যাঁ বলেন মারিয়াম, বলেন কি বলতে চাচ্ছেন?
স্যার বলছিলাম যে আপনি আরেকবার রিপিট করবেন।
Oh, sorry. Okay. So in introduction section, you will write the objectives of the report. The objective of the report in your case is to know the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. এটা অবজেক্টিভ আপনার, ঠিক আছে? তো আপনি আরো ফ্যাক্টরস, কো-ফ্যাক্টরস অফ অবজেক্টিভ বের করবেন। সেটা কিন্তু গত লেকচারে কিন্তু চ্যাপ্টার 11 রাইটিং আ ইনফ্লুয়েন্সিয়াল বিজনেস রিপোর্ট, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো ইম্পর্টেন্ট, সেম থিং we are explaining here. The previous chapter is explaining here. আগের চ্যাপ্টার কিন্তু আমরা এক্সপ্লেইন করতেছি এখানে। আর উইথ মি কাজে সেখানে কিন্তু আমরা বলছি, সেখানে কিন্তু আগের চ্যাপ্টারে কিন্তু আমরা বলছি যে আপনাদের কিভাবে অবজেক্টিভ সেট করতে হবে। অবজেক্টিভ হতে পারে কি স্টেটমেন্ট, অবজেক্টিভ হতে পারে কি কোয়েশ্চেন, অবজেক্টিভ হতে পারে কি ইনফিনিটিভ। ক্যান ইউ রিমেম্বার? To know the impact. When you will write the to know, that means you are writing the objective of a report in infinitive statement. This may be a normal statement, the impact of strategic business communication on business performance. The objective you can write in question mark. That means what is the impact of strategic business communication on business performance? তিন ভাবে অবজেক্টিভ লেখা যায়। You must write in any one form. তিনটার যে কোনো একটা আপনাকে লিখতেই হবে অবজেক্টিভ। Then you can subdivide the objective, factors of objective. We in our previous chapter we have discussed about the factors of objective, co-factors. Say for an example, what is business performance? You will define, we will know the impact of top management's strategic business communication approach on the profit. Number 2, on the share price. Number 3, on the EPS, earning per share. There are a lot of issues you can include as business performance indicator. So objective to know the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. You are subdividing these objectives into more 3 or 4 objectives. So you will identify that here in the introduction section. Am I clear? In the introduction section. And then report methodology. Methodology may be how you will answer what is the impact of business communication. In methodology section, If the methodology is very insignificant, just a descriptive report, then you can skip methodology section. You can include methodology subsection under introduction, or you can write a separate section methodology. Say for example, what you will write there in the methodology section, you will write the data source. Maybe you have collected primary data from the companies, so you will describe it. Then data analysis techniques. How have you analyzed the data? Have you used, are you gonna use any equation? That means econometric modeling, or are you going to use dependent or independent variables? Are you going to use structural equation modeling or SCM? So if the methodology is very significant to answer your question, then you will write the methodology. Say for example, for your easy understanding, if I want to know what is the average age of the class, it is my research question objective. In introduction section, I will explain what is the average age of my class. Then what method I will use to know the answer. In the methodology section, I will write that I will use x1 plus x2 plus x1 মানে একজন ছাত্র, সব ছাত্রের নাম x1 plus x2 x plus 3x plus 4 divided by total number of students. That means we will use the simple average method. So methodology means what method you are going to apply to answer the research question. Are you clear? What is research? Methodology section. What are you going to write there in methodology section?
Yes,
sir.
sir. What type of method we
Then
use?
go to the findings.
Methodology and result findings.
Findings. What you will write there in the findings. এবার আপনাদেরকে বলছি যে what is the average age research objective কি আমার? To know the average age of my class. All right? কি methodology আমরা apply করব? x1 plus x2 x3 divided by 3. Isn't it? Average. এরপর আপনি findings আপনি লিখলেন কি? লিখলেন average age of the class is 20. So why 20? What is the, maybe some are, you can also calculate the standard deviation. What is the deviation on the classroom? So this is the findings, isn't it? In the findings, you can show the age of some students in a figure, bar chart. So you are explaining your, fourth chapter, findings analysis or report findings. You are explaining now. And in your case, about the assignment, your findings will be number 1 findings. We have said that we are going to know the impact of strategic business communication on the profit of the business. So your heading under report findings, your subhead or head, it is a chapter. So heading will be impact of strategic business communication on profitability. So you will write now whether there is any impact, whether top management approach is good, whether mid management business communication is important, or lower level management strategy is important, whether the company's performance increases or decreases because of good business communication or bad business communication. You are explaining. All right.
স্যার একটু আমাদের প্রেজেন্টেশনটা নিয়ে একটু কথা বলবেন।
Presentation.
ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালটার স্যার টাইমিং গুলো কিরকম ভাবে হবে স্যার? ওটা কি আপনি গুগল ক্লাসরুমে দিয়ে দিবেন?
প্রেজেন্টেশন কিভাবে করবেন?
স্যার আমাদের যে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল যে প্রেজেন্টেশনটা হবে ওইটা কবে হবে, আর হচ্ছে গিয়ে টাইমিংটা এক একজনের, ওটা কি আপনি গুগল ক্লাসরুমে দিবেন?
হ্যাঁ, আপনাদের আমি বলে দিব এটা। বলে দিব, আপনাদের সাথে কথা বলেই দিতে হবে। হয়তো আপনাদের এই যে শুভ বা আপনাদের ওই যে রিমি, এদের সাথে কথা বলে দিব যারা রেগুলার ক্লাসে।
স্যার
ঠিক
ওটা
আছে,
একটু গুগল ক্লাসরুমে পোস্ট করলেও ভালো হয়।
ওকে ওকে, গুগল ক্লাসরুমে পোস্ট করে আপনাদের বলে দেব।
শিডিউলটা বেসিক্যালি স্যার।
Okay, you will get it for the moment. And then report findings. After findings, what you are going to write? Conclusion of the report. So forget about the summary because it is look like executive summary. You do not need to write the summary.
The
You will
report
write the
findings
conclusion.
So report findings are একটা subheadings এর কোন স্যার মিনিমাম রিকোয়ারমেন্ট আছে কয়টা পয়েন্ট তুমি নাকি report findings
Report findings টা mainly why you are writing the report. So writing the report for the findings. So you will analyze the findings. It is the main part of the report. Main explanatory part. আর অন্য কোথাও কোনো কিছুর এক্সপ্লানেশন নেই, এখানেই কিন্তু আপনার সব এক্সপ্লানেশন। এবং বলা হয় যে হোয়াট ইজ ইউর জাস্টিফিকেশন, হোয়াট ইজ ইউর ব্রেন চাইল্ড, ইউ উইল এক্সপ্লেইন হিয়ার এভরিথিং। মেবি আপনারা হয়তো এখনো কোনো রিসার্চ করেন না বলে এখনো মাথায় আসতেছে না। যেমন আমি একটা রিসার্চের কথা বলি যে what is the COVID-19 impact on economy of Bangladesh, তখন কি ফাইন্ডিং লট অফ ফাইন্ডিংস আসবে না? কোভিড-19 ইম্প্যাক্টটা কি পড়ছে, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ট্রেডে কি পড়লো, লোকাল ট্রেডে কি পড়লো, তার মানে কি লট অফ ফাইন্ডিংস এন্ড ইউ হ্যাভ টু এক্সপ্লেইন ইট। যেমন গার্মেন্টস, বাংলাদেশের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাকশন আরো বাড়ছে, তাহলে কেন বাড়লো? ইউ হ্যাভ টু পুট দি জাস্টিফিকেশনস, ইজ ইট? যেমন আপনার 2009 এর যে ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস ছিল, ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস, গ্লোবাল ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস, ক্যান রিমেম্বার? আপনারা বেশি ছোট ছিলেন 2009 এ?
Yes sir, 2009 mortgage banks
মানে গ্লোবাল ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস, যেটাকে সাবপ্রাইম ক্রাইসিস বলে, অথবা যেটাকে আপনার বলে আপনার 2008-9 আর কি সাবপ্রাইম ক্রাইসিস, অথবা মর্টগেজ ক্রাইসিস, অথবা যেটাকে বলে আপনার রিয়েল এস্টেট ক্রাইসিস। এই যে একসাথে বলে ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস। এখন গ্লোবাল ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিসের সময় বাংলাদেশে গার্মেন্টস বিক্রি বাড়ছে, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল বিক্রি বাড়ছে, সারা বিশ্বে ইকোনমি শ্রিঙ্ক করছে, আর কি আমাদের বাংলাদেশে কি করছে? গার্মেন্টস বিক্রি বাড়ছে। এখন তো আপনাকে ব্যাখ্যা দিতে হবে সারা বিশ্বের যেখানে কমে সেখানে আপনার কেন বাড়ে। ইউ হ্যাভ টু পুট দি জাস্টিফিকেশনস। যেমন ওইসব রিসার্চে আমরা বলছি জাস্টিফিকেশনস কি, যে সারা মানুষ, যেমন আপনার ইউরোপিয়ান মানুষ যেহেতু গরিব হয়ে গেছে, তাহলে কি করছে তারা? ওই যে আপনার ব্র্যান্ডেড পোশাক পরা বাদ দিয়ে দিছে, ইউজিং লো প্রাইস প্রোডাক্ট। আর লো প্রাইস প্রোডাক্ট আমরা তৈরি করি, যে কারণে আমাদের কাছ থেকে কি আসছে? ডিমান্ড বেশি আসছে। এবার আর আপনার যারা ব্র্যান্ডেড হাই প্রাইস প্রোডাক্ট পড়তো, তারা হাই প্রাইস প্রোডাক্ট আর পড়তে পারে না বিকজ অফ ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ক্রাইসিস। So you have to give the justifications why, and it is ultimately your brainchild. You are putting your own opinion here in findings, your justification. So that's why findings for the readers, findings is the most important part of the report. And then appended parts, bibliography, how to write the bibliography. You can use software, you can use Microsoft Word processing for writing the references or bibliography. এবং আপনাদের সম্ভবত একবার আপনাদের দেখিয়েছিলাম, অথবা আপনারাও বলেছিলেন from the previous course। কাজে আপনাকে ইউ হ্যাভ টু রাইট দি বিবলিওগ্রাফি প্রপারলি। এগুলো কিন্তু সব আপনার কি রিপোর্টের রেজাল্টস আপনি দিবেন যেটা, সেটা কিন্তু আমার কাছে খুব একটা অ্যাকসেপ্টেবল হবে না, বাট দিস পার্টস আর অল ইম্পর্টেন্ট ফর মি। কারণ কি আপনি যে রিসার্চ করছেন সেটা আসলে রিসার্চ করতে পারেন নাই, কিন্তু what is my purpose? My purpose is that you know how to write a report. Is very important for me. And also appended part, if there is an appended part, that means if you develop any questionnaire, you can give in the at the back side of the report. If there is any additional information that is important, and in the report findings section you fail to include, you can include. If the methodology is very complex, readers are not interested to read the methodology, you can put the methodology there in the appended section. So appendix means additional information. What is appendix? Appendix means additional information. And then after that, sample transmittal letter is given here. Oh yes, here is sample transmittal letter. Can you read? Here is a sample transmittal letter. Yes, sir.
স্যার আমার হচ্ছে টেবিল অফ কন্টেন্ট নিয়ে একটা কোশ্চেন আছে। টেবিল অফ কন্টেন্টে আপনি অ্যাড করতে বলেছিলেন ফিগারস, আর তারপর হচ্ছে লিস্ট, মানে যে লিস্টে টেবিল, হ্যাঁ টেবিল, ফিগার, অ্যাব্রিভিয়েশন, এরকম। তো অ্যাব্রিভিয়েশন তো আমাদের খুব একটা লাগেনি, বাট টেবিল হচ্ছে আমাদের জাস্ট একটা টেবিল আছে। এখন ওইটাও কি স্যার আমি টেবিল অফ মানে কন্টেন্টের মধ্যে অ্যাড করব?
আসবে না, কারণ লিস্ট হয় না, এটা একটা লিস্ট অফ
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ লিস্ট হয় না, এই জন্য অ্যাড করা হয়।
হ্যাঁ, সেপারেট সেকশন দেওয়া দরকার হবে না, কারণ একটাই আর ফিগারস
স্যার ফিগারস অ্যাড করেছি আলাদা করে।
Okay. So what you are going to write in your letter of transmittal message here is Hamilton County solid waste analysis report. Here is an in-depth quantitative study of Hamilton County residents approach toward recycling, which you authorize. So here authorization message you are including, all right, which you authorize on December 30, 2012. So the authorization information is included here in transmittal message. We conducted the service of the advanced marketing firm to conduct the study in collaboration with 4 representatives from the district. So you are discussing how we have done the research. The study revealed positive and negative attitudes towards something recyclers in Hamilton County have toward recycling. So you are writing the results here. This report describes their attitudes in detail. So you are not writing the details. The details are there in the report. Are you getting it? Then in the light of this finding, the report identifies several strategies. That means you are going to put some recommendations, several strategies that can be implemented to make our next recycling campaign a success. So you are going to give some recommendations also. You have summarized it. All right. So in transmittal message, that means if you do not give a separate authorization letter, then you can include the authorization information here, and then you can give the transmittal information that you are going to submit a report. That means it is ultimately known as the submission report, that you are going to submit a report is known as transmittal message. Thank you for authorizing this research. I look forward to working with you to create our most effective campaign ever. This is sample transmittal letter. You can write executive summary. This is the format of executive summary. Executive summary, say for example, I have told you about 5 chapters. Isn't it? There are 5 sections. Say for example, you are going to include 5 para, 1 para, 2 para, 3 para, 4 para, 5 para. So from where you will start? If it is direct means positive news, isn't it? If it is a positive report, then you are going to start from the section 5. This is the report. This is the report proper. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are report proper. You are summarizing the report proper in your executive summary. Executive summary can be in indirect order, or it can be in direct order. In case of direct order, you will begin from the results section. You will give the result. Yes, strategic business communication has a good impact. The research coefficient says that the relationship is very positive. If you develop some hypothesis, then you can prove your hypothesis using coefficients. So here you will write the final result, and then you how you have got it. Here you will get write the objectives. The report was introduced to know about the formal report writing system, and our professor has assigned this report, and then what methodology you have applied. You can write here. Then what shortcomings, limitations, and results you have written. You will write the results once again here, and finally a conclusion you will give. But in case of executive summary for negative message, you will use the indirect approach. So you will not begin with the results, rather you will begin with the prefatory discussion. This is important part of our course. Our teacher has assigned this report, and we have prepared this report. We use primary and secondary data. We got some literature as the secondary source of information. We have used we have analyzed by using different techniques, and the results are. These are the results of the report. There is no positive correlation between strategic business communication and business performance. You are going to write here. So you can choose any order. Sorry, you can choose indirect order in case of negative message, chapter 7 and chapter 8. Is that or positive message is about chapter 7 and negative is about 8. Sorry, this is chapter 7 and this is chapter 8. The lessons you have learned from chapter 8 you will apply here, and the lessons you have learned from chapter 7 you will apply here. All right. So you are writing the executive summary. You are summarizing the report 1 to 2 pages for the busy executives. Introduction. Now come to the previous discussion. The discussion have already done, isn't it? The report introduction. The report introduction means you're writing the report on strategic business impact of strategic business communication on business performance. So you will give an introduction. Introduction is usually known as motivation of your job, why you are interested to work on these issues. This introduction and report introduction is not same thing. This introduction means your motivation for the job. What is the motivation of writing this report? You will write the motivation, and then origin of the report. As part of the business communication course, our professor has assigned this report, and we have conducted research for about 3 months, and there is the origin of the report. A origin means কেন আপনি রিপোর্টটা লিখতেছেন। মেবি আপনার যে পারপাজে হবে, কয়েকদিন আগে যে পুলিশ আর প্রশাসন যে গ্যাঞ্জাম হলো শুনছেন, ওই যে আপনার পুলিশ এক পুলিশ আর এক পুলিশ, দুই পুলিশ মিলে যে আপনার ছাত্রলীগ পিটালো শাহবাগে। So what is the origin of the report? They will write the origin of the report here. Origin হলো কি? মারামারি, দুই গ্রুপের মারামারির ফলে পুলিশ এবং ছাত্রলীগের মারামারির কারণে এই রিপোর্ট লিখতেছি। So you will write the origin of the report. All right. আপনাদের অরিজিন হলো, আপনারা it is course requirement. এটা একটা নাম্বার অরিজিন, এই কারণেই অরিজিন হয়েছে রিপোর্ট, না হয় আপনি রিপোর্ট লিখতেন না। Problem and purpose. You must write. This is the purpose. So where are you going to write the objectives of your report? You are going to write the objective of your report here. Objectives of the report. Problem and purpose means objectives of the report. You are going to write the objective of the report. The main objective of the report is to know the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. The Other objectives includes number one, the impact of strategic business communication on profitability, impact of strategic business communication on share price, impact of strategic business communication on cash flows, impact of business communication on, these are the performance indicators. These are the performance indicators. You are right, you must write the objectives of the report, and then scope. Scope means maybe you can do the research report on many different industries, but you have chosen only pharmaceutical industry. It is your scope. You will write the scope of your report, that we have chosen pharmaceutical industry of Bangladesh to know the impact of strategic business communication on the business performance. Scope. Limitations. In your limitations, what are the problems you have faced? Number one, the companies were reluctant to give you the information. There was no previous literature, and you are the first time researcher. So a lot of limitations. The limitations you have faced, you will write. Maybe your professor has was not cooperative. You can include this. So limitations means what are the limitations you have faced in your report, you will write here. Historical background. Sometimes there are some historical background. If you write a report on any conflicting issues, then you can write the historical background. Why the conflict have arisen. You need to include if there is any. It is not mandatory that you have to put all points in your introduction. You can give this information. These are the indicative information, not the all. Sources and methods of collecting information. So here, if you are going to write a separate section on methodology, so you do not need to give this section here, subsection here. If you are going to write a separate chapter on methodology, then you do not need to give this information here in introduction. And then definitions, initialisms and acronyms. If you give any initialisms, say for an example, RAB is initialism, means rapid battalion action, or rapid actions battalion, RAB. So if you use this type of initialisms, you will explain this here in the section acronyms. Say for an example, CC. Yes.
Sir, a part sir abbreviation দিব না স্যার যে table of content for যে list of
right. আপনি কিন্তু এর আগে যদি দিয়ে থাকেন acronyms, list of acronyms, তাহলে আবার এখানে দিতে হবে না। অলরাইট,
আচ্ছা স্যার।
ওখানে যদি অনেকগুলি থাকে তখন লিস্ট তৈরি করা যায়, এমন যদি অবস্থা তৈরি হয় তখন আপনি দিবেন। আর লিস্ট তৈরি করা যায় না, একটা দুইটার জন্য তো একটা পেজ আপনি নষ্ট করতে পারবেন না, এবং that is also odd looking, not looking good. Then report preview is very important. You must include it. Report preview means that you will write like this. Oh yes, it is recording. You will write like this. Chapter 1 of this report has explained the objectives of the report. Chapter 2 is about the literature review. Chapter 3 is about the methodology we have applied in the report. Chapter 4 is about findings and discussion. Chapter 5 concludes the report. This is report preview. That means any reader. This is also coherence. Coherence means that আমি কিন্তু জানি যে কোনখানে রিপোর্টের স্ট্রাকচার পাওয়া যায়। যে কোনো রিপোর্ট দেখার সাথে সাথে কিন্তু আমি ধরার সাথে সাথে কিন্তু এই ইন্ট্রোডাকশনের সবার শেষের পয়েন্টে চলে যাই। কি চ্যাপ্টার লিখছে, টেবিল অফ কন্টেন্টে কিন্তু সবকিছু অনেকক্ষণ দেখতে হবে। আর রিপোর্ট প্রিভিউতে আপনি সরাসরি দেখে ফেলতে পারেন, অনলি 2 লাইনের মধ্যে সবকিছু লেখা থাকে রিপোর্টে কি আছে। This is known as report preview. All right, and then report proper or body of the report. Use a logical and appropriate pattern of organization. Use clear parallel headings to announce its sections contents. Use tables, charts, any other graphics that can help the writer represent detailed data and help the reader to understand everything. Then indicates clearly at one point where the information came from. Then uses coherence helpers to move the readers smoothly through the report and help them follow the report's logical structure. Logical structure means আপনি যে report preview তে যেভাবে দিয়ে আসছেন সেভাবে ব্যাখ্যা দিয়েছেন এবং এই logical structure is very important. এবার আবার I'm repeating logical structure once again and coherence and logical structure. In introduction section, you must include what are the objectives of your report, all right? In literature review, you will write literature on your topic. So literature means previous work or relevant literature, and relevant means relevant to the title you have chosen. You have to write the literature, and in the literature, if you are a researcher, not the report, if you are a researcher, then in the literature review you find the gap. কেন gap find করেন যে আপনি একজন researcher means that you are going to introduce something new, you are going to develop some new knowledge. কাজে existing যত knowledge আছে সব জানার পরে you will say that this writer has discussed about this thing, that writer has discussed about that thing, but nobody has discussed about the strategic importance of business communication on business performance. As there was no previous literature, you are going to do a research on strategic business communications impact on business performance. So your literature review is related to your title, isn't it? And also you are finding the gap. Gap means your problem statement. Ultimately, you have stated the problem in introduction, but in literature review, you are again stating your problem. Research gap. So introduction, objective of the report is related to literature review. Now, literature methodology. Methodology is also related to objective. Objective means what is the impact of a strategic business communication. So how you are going to explain it? What is the method you are going to use to answer the research question? So objective means research question. So you are going to answer the research question using the methodology. There is a huge logical relationship. Coherence is there. Coherence and logical relationship are there. Objectives and methodology. Say for an example, my objective is to know the average age of the students of the average age of the class. So if I want to know the age of the class, then I will apply methodology. It is my introduction objective. Now in the methodology section, I will write that I will use simple average to know the average age of my students. So your objective and your methodology is logically related, and there is a coherence. Then your findings. So what type of findings you are going to write? You are going to write the findings from your research methods. আপনি research method দিয়ে যে answer পাবেন সেটা লিখবেন। এবার আমি লিখলাম the average age of my student is 20. So result. Now I will also discuss about the standard deviations. One of the students was 25 years old because of his physical problem and something. So we also discuss about the deviations in results section. We also give graph, bar chart. This is the bar chart of the students. So isn't methodology, objective and research findings related? কি বলেন?
Yes, sir, related.
Yes, sir, related, sir.
Related.
Sir, 10:42 বাজে, sir.
10টা
100% limited, sir.
10:42
খাইতে
10:42
যাবো তো স্যার, হাত শেষ করেন না আজকে
খেতে কোথায় যাবেন?
স্যার। মানে এখন কি স্যার, এখন খাওয়া শুরু করে দেবো?
খাবার আপনার থেকে কি আমার বয়স কম না বেশি বলেন? So
স্যার
I'm
আপনার
also
তো বেশি স্যার।
so I'm also hungry. And after coming from office, I'm delivering extra lecture for you. You could understand. Okay, I'm gonna finish because already we have discussed about the body, isn't it?
Yes,
In
sir.
Sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir, I think we need another makeup class. আজকে এত কিছু আসলে।
Yes. You need more makeup class. Before that, you will review the video, and then we
দরকার নাই,
can
এটা তো রেখে দেন স্যার, একটা দেশে
স্যার আমাদের
স্যার আমাদের আর মেকআপ ক্লাস দরকার নাই
স্যার
স্যার,
আর
কারণ
স্যার
অনেক
যেভাবে
যে
বড়
বলছো
হচ্ছে
ওকে আলাদাভাবে করায়েন স্যার।
Okay, we can after finishing. Okay, just a moment. In 5 minutes, we are going to finish, and then we can discuss informal issues. Okay. So you are now going to write the report ending, means the appended part. Yes, the appended part, third part. Here you will not summarize the report. So it is the additional issue. You do not need to summarize the report. You have already summarized the report in your executive summary. One more summary is not important. You will write the conclusions. You will write the conclusions. You will just, what is the objective? Objective of the report to know the impact of strategic business communication on the performance. You will write here the strategic communication has a significant positive impact on the business performance. As we found that because of introducing good strategic business communication, the company has earned more profit. So you are summarizing in different way, and you are linking the summary with your objective in introduction section, isn't it? Introduction section. So this is how you are going to write the report, and you have prepared a full report. You can include some recommendations. This is all. And coherence we have already discussed. Introduction is related with literature. Introduction is related. Introduction means objective. Objective is related to methodology. Objective is related with methodology and findings. Objective is related with methodology, findings, and conclusion. Because in conclusion section we are linking with the objective. We are আপনাদের শুরুতেই বলছি, কিন্তু আমি যখনই রিপোর্ট ধরি তখন শুরুতেই পড়ি কি অবজেক্টিভ, তারপর আই গো টু দি কনক্লুশন। কারণ কি যারা রিপোর্ট লেখে, যারা আপনার নলেজ আছে, তারা কি করে আপনার ইন্ট্রোডাকশনের যে অবজেক্টিভ, সে অবজেক্টিভ সামারাইজ করে ইন দি কনক্লুশন। This is all today's lecture, and this is a sample report. You can check. You will. This is cover page. Title fly is not given. This is cover page. You will write the title, and you can write the importance. Why? The internship report submitted for Master of Business Administration degree. Maybe you can write, or submitted by, you will supervised by, and also you can write the institutional ID. That you this is for the students of my MBA program at Burex. This guidelines was prepared for them. So the same thing I am giving here for you, for your reference. You will write in this way. All right, then you will write the title fly, only title of the report, then title page, the same page, cover page and title page is same. Then you are writing a letter of transmittal, then you are writing table of contents, and then list of tables, list of figures, list of abbreviations, executive summary. Then you are writing the total report. Then you are going to add some appended part, and some formatting requirements. These requirements are mandatory for the student of my students. That means you are also my students right now. You can use this formatting system, because these are also important and internationally standard formatting system that your book also